a little bit about myself, Truck Guru. I've been in the industry for professionally since about 2010. It was more of a hobby prior to that, but I've been doing it professionally since about 2010. I've worked with a ton of great companies and industry professionals within the automotive segment. A lot of businesses and a lot of great people I've met over the years, and I've amassed a pretty awesome network of people throughout my career that I still deal with to this day. Really excited to be here on behalf of SEMA Yen and talk a little bit about with people out there. Just want to make sure you guys know you guys can ask questions anytime. Talk all the viewers out there if you guys want to link up, communicate. As we get going, I'm sure more and more people will visit. Right now there is quite a few people starting to get on. So again, guys, if you want, just ask questions, fire away, and we'll kind of go through them and see about if I can answer as many of them as I can. So again, guys, my name is Chris. I go by Truck Guru. I was given that name from a mentor of mine, in the automotive industry. Kind of stuck with me, and here I am, 10 plus years later, still kicking, still doing my thing. It's a privilege and an honor that I get to work with so many great people and meet so many great people in this industry, whether it be at SEMA or other shows or events, or just via email sometimes and phone. A lot of times I've not met in person some of the people that I have such a good relationship with until shows like SEMA pop up. So it's a pretty cool little deal, guys. If anybody out there wants to start firing off questions, feel free. I'll answer them as I see them. I've got my phone out here. Okay, so we've got our first question here. How has SEMA 360 changed what you do in the absence of SEMA this year? Any tips for people handling this new challenge? So yeah, it's been a very, very big challenge this year without SEMA. I think myself and a lot of people out there put so much emphasis and so much everything focused towards SEMA that I think a lot of us were kind of in panic mode, if you will, in regards to SEMA being canceled due to COVID-19. What we have to do basically is keep our ear to the ground and our eyes open, and we have to find other avenues right now, ways to still get the promotions and still be able to get out there and get the return on investment that we need from the products and the money and everything else that we've spent throughout the year. I know a lot of people still are going full charge ahead. Anything that's open, they're hitting it, which is, in my opinion, a really, really smart thing. SEMA 360 kind of stepped up to help out that, to combat that. I know a lot of people are taking part in that. A lot of companies are, getting in line with that. It's different. And at the end of the day, the world threw us a curveball with COVID-19, and all we had to do was, we could lay down and, go back to the dugout, or we can swing for the fences and hope we can get a home run. So I think that's what SEMA 360 is here for. It's one of the many, many options to kind of help give us something else in place of SEMA. Not that you can replace SEMA, but at the end of the day, it's just another alternative for us to be able to get any type of ROI going forward. So that was a pretty good question. I appreciate that. We got quite a few viewers in here, you guys. If you do have any questions, feel free to jot them down in the comments, and as I see them, I'll try to get them answered as quickly as I can. So, going back to SEMA 2020, I know myself included, when I got up January 1st, I said, this is my year. I'm going to kill it. I can't wait for it. I was ready for the new opportunities, the new adventures. But unfortunately, the world had another option for us, and they tossed us COVID early. We tried to deal with it. Unfortunately, COVID, it reared its ugly head, and it stuck around for way longer than any of us wanted it to. And in fact, it's still here. So all we can kind of do is, look for other opportunities out there, other shows and events that are still happening in areas of the country that are a little bit less, affected from COVID. I personally am in California, and California, we're still kind of shut down. It looks like they're going to start reopening a lot of things, which is good because there's going to be a lot more shows and events hopefully taking place really soon. I personally What's up, Desiree? How's everybody going out there? Mike, I see you. A bunch of guys, feel free, guys, ask questions, talk. There's a lot of things that you could do, now with COVID kind of taking a back seat to things. So a lot of shows are going to be popping up that I'm pretty excited about. Like I said, being in California, it's a little bit more difficult because the way our government here is kind of strongholding us and making us sit on the bench a little longer than we'd like to. But, for those of us who are willing to travel and willing to, do those things, basically the opportunities are still there. It's just you have to look a little harder for them right now, but they're still there. So, don't discount the fact that, sitting on your hands and not doing nothing is the way to go, because it's not. What's up, Eddie? Bobby, Lock Her Down. That's one of the great companies that I partner with, and I'm fortunate enough to have helped evolve over the past few years. Good friends with the management ownership over there at Lock Her Down. Those guys, great people, good opportunities for a lot of people, good product. Really excited that I get to work with such great companies like Lock Her Down, in my position. So shout out to those guys. I'm glad to see you guys on here, Desiree, Bobby. Hey guys, again, feel free to ask questions. We got quite a few people in here now. You guys start firing off questions to me as quickly as you can, and I'll try to do my best to answer them. But I just want you guys to know what I do in my industry basically is I focus a lot on project management. I know that's a pretty crazy title. For what I do is I put an emphasis on partners, not sponsorship. And at the end of the day, I basically want to ensure the longevity and growth of our industry through partnering with good, partners and businesses out there, and ensuring they're succeeding in everything that they do by partnering with us. So what I do is make sure I hit a home run, and I worry about myself. I stay in my lane. I do my thing. I don't focus on what other people are doing, because at the end of the day, that doesn't help guys like me. Looks like we're starting to get a lot more questions in here. Let's see here. What are some new products that you're excited about? Hey, Matt, that's a pretty good question, dude. There's a lot of great companies out there, and the good thing about being involved with SEMA is I get the opportunity to always be a part of the latest and the greatest and the newest and the most innovative technology and products and accessories out there. I'm super excited about a lot of products. Personally, I just bought a 2020 Ram, and I'm super excited to get going on that build myself personally, and showcase some new products from some companies that we already all know. As far as one specific product out there, I can't say that I favor one more than the other, because you don't build a vehicle with just one product. So it's really hard for me to be excited about just one thing when it takes a collective effort of companies and products to make a full build. So that's a hard question. I'm excited about all of the products, all of them. Some more questions. When you got started building for SEMA, how many trucks did you do your first year? How many did you do the last year? Okay, so that's a very good question, John. So my first year, obviously I went by myself. It was a Tundra, believe it or not. It was the new style body Tundra back in the day, the 5.7 Crew Max. It was one truck. I kind of dipped my toe in the water. I had no idea what SEMA was before that, if I'm going to being honest with you. It was just a big show that I had nothing to do with. Well, I got invited because I had built a pretty cool truck, and I had the opportunity to show at SEMA. I took my truck there. I was blown away. And from there, I loved it. And I helped others, got a couple other friends there, placed with some mutual contacts. And then as I continued growing and expanding, and I took on more and more trucks. And last year, Truck Gurus was responsible for placing and project managing 45 builds at the show. I helped with quite a few others, getting last minute placement or things of that nature, but full project management from start to finish, we did 45 trucks. I know that's a lot, but the last couple years we've had a great opportunity to work with, again, guys, a lot of wonderful companies, and promote a lot of great products at the SEMA show. So just going on here, I'm gonna look at more questions. Let's see here. Bobby, you say Chris has had a huge impact on our business and getting our brand out there and helping us interact and get involved with other companies. Hey man, that's glad to hear, man. Oftentimes I don't get to get the opportunity to hear a lot of that feedback from a lot of the business I've worked with. It's kind of like an unspoken thing. So it's a little breath of fresh air to get to hear that I'm doing a good job when I'm working with companies like yours, and I appreciate that. The best way to secure your valuables, come on, man, lock her down. You know that, Bobby. And I appreciate you being live in this chat, brother. What's up, Juan? John, you asked another question. I see a lot of lifted trucks that you work on. Do you have lowered trucks as well? Yes, actually, I'm currently working on a 1953 Chevy pickup truck. It's a 3100 pickup. It's been, in the works a little bit longer than I'd like it to be, but me being in the position I'm in, I want to make sure that that thing is flawless. The guys that I'm competing against, when it comes to SEMA and the battle of the builders, these guys are no slouches. And at the end of the day, these guys have been in this industry a lot longer than I could ever hope to be in this industry for. And just to be on the stage sometimes with those guys, I'm blown away. I'm shocked. I'm humbled, and I'm honored to be next to those guys. So when I'm doing a truck of that magnitude, I need to ensure that every single detail is perfect, because if not, I personally don't believe I'll stand a chance of being up there, let alone should I be up there next to those guys. So, that's one thing. But lower trucks, yes, we do lower trucks. We even do cars. I'm known as Truck Guru, but at the end of the day, we've done cars and we've also done lower trucks, some supercharged stuff for Truck Hero and Undercover, X-Tang, things of that nature. So yeah, we've absolutely done lower trucks, and we'll branch out to anything. At the end of the day, it's all about networking with the right people. And I feel like I possess the skill to go out there and interact with brand new people and still be able to get the opportunity for those different types of vehicles that I'm normally not accustomed to. So yes, I'm definitely willing to work with lowered as well as cars and anything else, hot rods, whatever. So, Daryl says bring back mini trucks. Hey man, whatever, if that works, let's do it, man. Juan, what's up, man? Lake days. Yep, absolutely. If anybody knows me, they know I'm always on the lake. How did you get started? And what was your favorite truck build? That comes from my good friend Eddie, guys. Shout out to Eddie. My boy Eddie, he's fighting a battle right now. He's going through chemo. Glad to see you on here, man, supporting your boy. I appreciate that more than you know. So how did I get started? Basically, what started as a clear-cut hobby for me, I never in a million years thought that I would be at the level that I'm at today, or where I'm at, or getting the opportunities like being able to talk to everybody out here on the SEMA Yen page. On behalf of myself, Truck Gurus, it's absolutely humbling and amazing. But getting started, I started as a hobby, and I started doing these little things, and I started noticing little trends and little things that kind of like clicked with me. And I just kept pushing myself a little further and a little further. My builds got a little crazier and crazier and crazier. And at the end of the day, I started, putting all this information together, and it kind of filled a lot of voids. So I decided I was going to go into project management. And, here I am today, blessed to have over 250 builds at SEMA, and, continue on. This year we were slated for over 30 before the event got canceled. And, I'm blessed to have the partnership and opportunities that those guys have given me, not only this year, but throughout the years, to be able to continue to work with them. It was a little bit of a mess for everybody to have the event canceled, but we're still going strong on our builds, guys. We have full plans to continue as if, nothing ever happened. Missing SEMA was a speed bump to us. It's not the only event out there. It's one of our favorites for sure. But at the end of the day, my job and my role as a project manager to my partners as well as my clients is to ensure that the return on investment is still there. And I have to find ways and get a little bit crazy sometimes in order to go out and do those things. But at the end of the day, I possess the skills to go out and do that. My favorite truck build would probably have to be my little pre-runner. It was a labor of love. It took a lot of years to get that thing in the current condition. Started off a little rocky, but at the end of the day, that thing, it's in a pretty good place right now. Sounds like a monster. Nobody expects that when I start that thing up, fire it up, and it sounds like a race truck. Everybody's like, that's coming from that thing? It's pretty cool. So just to be able to touch so many things on that truck and ensure that it's completely different, but overall it still has that OEM, cab shape and everything like that. I feel like that's pretty cool to me to have it so different, but still the skeleton of the thing is still that basic OEM truck. Let's see here. Any great mentors? Yeah, absolutely. Hey, that's a great question. In my professional life, favorite lessons you picked up from. So if any of you guys out there on YouTube, I'm on YouTube, Truck Gurus. I'm always asked to give these motivational, inspiring speeches and talk about success and things of that nature. But again, guys, one thing that I want to point out is I continuously have a great team of people around me, whether it's, my partner with my graphic art, my rendering artist, Matt, or whether it's my mentor, Roland Trudell, the founder of RBP, Rolling Big Power. I connected with Roland way back in the day when RBP was just stickers, guys. He didn't even have a business at the time, but he started with stickers and, kind of grew from there. And, he gave me the time of day when I was a pissant nobody. And to be able to speak with somebody that I knew that was a company owner when I was a young kid, 18, 19 years old, I was beside myself. I was like, wow, I don't even know why this guy's spending a moment of his time talking to me, but he did, and he instilled a lot of life lessons in me. Don't run before you can walk. Some little things that I've taken and I've pretty much grown with throughout the years, and I've used those. You only get one chance sometimes, so you want to make sure that your first impression is the best impression. And at the end of the day, he instilled some of these foundation, things in my brain. He's the one that installed those for me. So I've grown and I've definitely expanded my network and everything of that nature. But, to have the mentorship from Roland, it was probably what got me started and why I'm sitting here today. So that was an awesome question. I want those to keep on coming, guys. Let's see here. Thanks, Bobby. Appreciate it. You've seen my work. It's trying times, but we all have to press on, and it works if we're a team. If you have a good team and you choose the right people, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because you're going to succeed. I personally, I don't fail. That is not an option for me. I will never sit there and, accept defeat, because at the end of the day, as long as I'm still breathing and kicking and I'm able to talk, I'm able to do something. And everybody, I think, should have that mentality. Don't give up the fight, obviously, until you're 6 feet under. So, just keep on keeping on, like Joe Dirt says, guys. Let's see here. Excited for any new truck releases, Daryl? Yeah, absolutely, man. I touched briefly on my 2020 Ram. I'm really excited about that build because I'm bringing some Truck Guru signature styles, and I'm also implementing some things that I've been sitting on for quite a few years that I've decided to take the leap on. Just like in 2014, I don't know how many of you out there remember when I stacked a lifted Jeep on top of a lifted Ram and was able to drive with that. I know everybody at SEMA was tripping out. It was kind of like the craziest thing anybody had ever seen. But it took me a couple years. Me and Roland had thought of that idea to kind of get the cojones to get out there and actually do that. So with this, it wasn't more of a getting the guts and nerve to do it. It's more of I was kind of saving it for a rainy day. It's really hard to, when I'm doing my personally owned builds, it's really hard to one-up myself to kind of what's that next level of craziness coming from Truck Guru. So I had to shelf this little idea for a couple years, and I think we're gonna see it this next year. I'm gonna put it out on my Ram. Really excited about that 53 Chevy 3100 build. I don't know if we'll see that next SEMA because there's so much custom stuff that I'm adding to that have never been done before, and I'm just really excited to get that thing off the ground, guys. Let's see here. Working with Chris Desiree professionally has made a tremendous positive impact on the success of our business. Not only getting our brand out there, but assisting with marketing materials, giving advice, and getting a chance to attend SEMA with our first build. That's what it's all about. At the end of the day, if we can't help those around us and want them to succeed, we don't have any chance for success ourselves, because at the end of the day, I want to see everybody elevate their game, and helping companies like yours, Desiree, succeed basically helps the growth and longevity of our industry. And if I can do that, I cemented a place for myself that much further in time. So that's my goal, is to help anybody and everybody out there. If you're a company in your business and you're watching this live right now, do not ever hesitate to reach out to me. If it's just for a moment, you want to chat it up and maybe, talk to me a little bit, get some advice. Not that I'm, professional at giving advice, but I certainly have lived in the moment and lived and done a lot of things throughout my professional career in the automotive industry. I've met a lot of inspiring and great people, and I'm fortunate enough to be here and be able to talk to people and hopefully help them grow and succeed in their business, and maybe even take a risk or a chance that they didn't think that they'd ever take, like I did before. At the end of the day, if you're not taking risks and chances, you're going to get complacent. You're going to get in that one. If you want to stay flatline, that's on you. But if you want to take risks and you want to be somebody, you have to go out there and you have to get the right people involved, partner with the right people, and just, you have to take the risk. So what are some of the new projects in the works? One, like I said, got the 53 Chevy. I've got a car we're working on. I can't talk too much. It's going to be pretty cool. Truck Guru signature style, guys. I got my Ram. I've got a Raptor that I've built for the overland stuff. Worked with Hobbs Off-Road for a rack on that, CVT tents. Shout out to those guys. They're always on board to help us out. Great companies. Again, guys, if it wasn't for the companies and the people that I get to work with on a day-to-day basis when it comes to SEMA products, builds, clients, anything, I would not be where I'm at today. I wouldn't have a name in this industry. I wouldn't be anybody in this industry. I would just be a dude who liked trucks and modified trucks on his own, just like a lot of people out there. So, I'm very fortunate to be in the position I am and have a great team of partners throughout the industry that I get to work with. Blake Wilkie, my man. If you guys don't know Blake, you guys are missing out. That dude is wild. He's Team Shreddy all the way. Hey, shout out to my boy Blake. That guy is crazy. Good dude. If you're a company and you have some cool products, you definitely need to hit up Blake because he's a guy that's hot right now. So, Andrew Lowe, my man, what's up, brother? Let's see here. So SEMA asked me, as a brand ambassador, what is the common goal sponsors look for as ROI? What did you learn early on if you missed the mark? So guys, a common goal for ROI is basically, ROI stands for return on investment. A lot of people don't know that. It's probably the single most important thing and task if you're working with a business and you're getting product or being sponsored or anything. Return on investment is probably the number one thing that is going to make sure that you stick around and continue to do what you do. If you're good at providing the return on investment, at the end of the day, you're winning. Early on, I saw a lot of my friends grow with me. They did SEMA here and there, and they fell off the face of the planet because, sometimes life got busy and they just, took a different path, or they did not go out there and do those things. Guys, when you're working with a company and you're partnering with a brand or a business, there are certain things that they expect, and sometimes they don't tell you, and sometimes you fill out a form and you don't read it, you just sign it, and you're obligated to do whatever. Sponsorship to me is a crappy term. For me, it's partnership because it's a revolving door, of me helping them and them helping me. They're helping me by giving me products and accessories for my builds, and I'm helping them by getting a return on investment. Return on investment can mean a number of things, guys. It could be going to shows and events. It could be, social media love. It could be showing off the product, doing reviews. It could be a number of things. But at the end of the day, one thing that I've specialized in, that I've, figured out, is being able to give a return on investment. In 2020, I think now more than ever, it's super important to be able to give return on investment and find ways. There's always a way. At the end of the day, it might take a little doing it. It may take some trial and error, but at the end of the day, there's always something you could be doing to give your return on investment. As a project manager, what has been the most valuable feedback you have received from a builder, exhibitor, or a build sponsor? The most positive feedback or valuable feedback. Valuable feedback basically is just to just keep doing what I'm doing. Obviously, I found the formula, I guess. I don't know. Again, like I said, for me, it's all about getting partnered with the right people and maintaining those partnerships. And you may get a sponsorship or a partnership from a company one year, and then, you may not need them next year. But the problem with most people is they fall off the face of the earth and pretend that person doesn't exist anymore when they don't need them. However, you want to maintain those relationships. And to me, that is probably the most valuable thing that you can do, is maintain and nourish those relationships to make sure that they grow and you keep succeeding, both of you. Not only you, but them. Even if you're not using them, you can still help them. As more events go virtual and print magazine goes digital, what adjustments have you begun to make to ensure return on investment? Guys, shows are going virtual, but there are still, shows out there that are popping up that you can do. So you just got to look for them. You may have to dig a little harder. You may have to post about it. But the glory of social media is it's a pretty great tool for being able to communicate with other people and get knowledge that you don't already know. So if you don't know, if you want to go to a show in a couple weeks, hey, what's out there, guys? And then people will tell you, and then you could plan to either go or not go. When it comes to, the digital aspect of like magazines and things like that, it's all about nourishing relationship, because although the actual physical magazine may have went away, the magazine still lives on digitally. And my relationships with those people are still A1 because I nourish those relationships. I still tend to those relationships. I'm about those relationships. So as long as I'm still communicating and providing and just being a part of that revolving door, I'm still able to feast on the benefits and reap the rewards. Let's see here. Andrew, you're a funny guy, bud. Let's see here. What types of projects have you been able to merge the aftermarket world with industries like sports, fitness, music, and lifestyle? Okay, so, it's pretty cool, guys. Like, if you guys see behind me, my new little banner here, I'm actually being able to do a new thing. It's Guru Garage. We're going to start a 14-episode, season for a private production. That's one way I'm able to give back to companies and be able to support companies is through, the production. But also, I've actually recently been contacted by a business that is up and coming. It's a new brand for influencers and manufacturers that basically is going to allow the merging of the two. And in the automotive industry, I was reached out to because of my vast network and my relationship with my partners and contacts in this industry. I was reached out to be the liaison for the automotive side of it. And I'm really excited about that. And guys, if you're listening and you want to take part of this or be a part of this, please reach out to me, DM me. At truck_guru on Instagram is my handle. Chris Payne on Facebook. Do not ever hesitate to reach out to me. I'm here to communicate with everybody and anybody. I'm glad to help. I'm happy to do it. But at the end of the day, that new feature that company is going to unveil, it's called socialmonkey.media. And if you guys have a computer, their website's up. I don't think it's quite ready to launch yet. I believe their launch date is going to be around the first of the year. So if you're a company and you're looking to, cut exposure or cut overhead, maximize your exposure tenfold on the digital marketing side, definitely need to look into socialmonkey.media, because I promise you the things that those people are doing are nothing short of spectacular. And I honestly feel in my 10 years in this industry that it's going to be a game changer for our industry. And if you guys want to work with me on it, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to explain it to you, provide a deck of some kind to get over to you guys to get the conversations rolling about how you guys can take part in that and how you can be a part of Social Monkey and how you can reap the benefits. And even if you're an influencer, guys, if you're out there and you're just watching, you don't own a company, there's a place for you too. At the end of the day, it's a really, really cool feature because, you're going to be paid. You're going to be having an opportunity to be paid for posting content that interests you. So when you sign up, you create your profile, and it's pretty simple. You input the things that you're interested in. If you match up with partners, you get chosen for campaigns. You post, you get paid. And for a manufacturer, we're going to tap into a vast majority of social media platforms and be able to post with different people and their unique audiences across those platforms. So guys, that's probably the most exciting thing. If somebody asked me about a product earlier, if that's a product, that's what I'm excited about. So guys, write it down, take a note, socialmonkey.media. If you guys want questions, anything, reach out to me, text me, call me, send me a DM, whatever. I will help you and get you guys more knowledge on that if you want. Are there any other builders that inspire you or what you build? John, yeah, absolutely, man. When I do what I do, I don't look to anybody else as competition. Truly, when I look in the mirror, I'm the only competition that I want to have. Obviously, there are things like competition, like Battle of the Builders, things of that nature. But at the end of the day, I don't look to other people as competition. I look to them as motivation. and I want to turn competition into motivation, and I want to use them and see what they're doing to elevate what I'm doing. I typically don't like to follow the trends of what others are doing. I like to set my own trends and let other people follow me. And I think that's another reason why return on investment has been so great with companies like mine is I have a direct target to the masses, and I get to influence people directly by utilizing certain companies, products, accessories, and things of that nature that you otherwise may not see as aggressively if they're not partnered with us. I'm not to say that you still can't, but if you're partnered with us, it gives you a little bit of an opportunity to be seen a little bit more aggressively in the industry and be able to have a greater return on investment yield. So as a builder yourself, how do you handle building a vehicle the way you want and still properly representing multiple sponsors on board? So again, guys, that kind of goes with that. I do what I want, but at the end of the day, I still want to make sure that the relationships that I had on past builds are still maintained. Just because your plants, they made these flowers doesn't mean you stop watering because they made the flowers, right? You want to continue to water them so they don't die. That's the same thing with relationships in the business. So when you're dealing with manufacturers and you're communicating, the ultimate thing right there is just to continue to nourish relationships, communicate so that everybody still, succeeds. As more events go virtual, prints go digital. Got that question already. Let's see here. You have been an excellent mentor, for people in our business, coaching, market. And I love hearing that, guys. I myself have picked up a lot of different things from a lot of people over the years. And, if I'm responsible for being able to allow people to know a little bit of knowledge that I have or help share with them, I'm going to do that because, I think that's how everybody should be. You want everybody to succeed because it elevates you, it creates growth and succession of what you're doing for years and years to come. And at the end of the day, if you don't have that, if that goes away, you basically, you cut off the hand that fed you. So you don't want to do that, guys. That's a pretty important thing. Teamwork makes the dream work. Absolutely, man. Without teamwork, I'm telling you guys, I'm not going to sit up here or any stage or anything and ever say it was me, all me. At the end of the day, there are things that I rely on from a professional standpoint, to have those people do. I am a jack of all trades in a way, but I'm a master of none at the same time. I mean, I dabble. I'm willing to try anything and everything. And at the end of the day, being able to have the right people around you and be able to utilize those tools is an extremely important asset for me, and it should be for you as well. So get the right team, get the right people, and I promise you, you'll start to see more success. So let's see. Blake says, what's the best way to contact you? Instagram is one that I'm very, very active on. And guys, it's truck_guru. You guys can DM me. You guys can email me, Payne661, Payne 661 at yahoo.com. Or you guys can communicate with me on any one of my social media platforms. I'm usually just Truck Guru, guys. You can find me. It's not that hard. Let's see here. Remember this face. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, I appreciate that, Desiree. Matt has been great to me as well. Without Matt, I promise you I am not nearly as successful as I am today. Matt, guys, he's my graphic artist. I have to give him hats off, credit to him. That dude is my sidekick, my rock star, my A1. He's my right-hand man. Without him, I'm not near where I'm at. Let's see here. Shows are huge. Thanks for encouraging you. Absolutely. Shows are very important, guys. At the end of the day, being out there in front of the consumers and being able to represent your brand is super uber important because they're gonna raise a thing called brand awareness, guys, and that's what you want. So you want people to identify your brand by seeing you, and if they start to see you at all these places, they're gonna remember that you exist. And when they go to buy things like, let's say, tires, and a good example, Fury Tires is at a lot of events. So when people go to buy tires and they remember they went to this event and this event and this event, oh yeah, Fury Tires, instantly in their head it's going to click to them that they need to go and check out that because that was an avenue that they saw and they're active and that's what they do. So again, shows are very, very important for things like that. And just being able to communicate and be face-to-face with people and get to know people and engage people, I feel is a very important factor for success. Although all of my builds are different, do you have some sort of business plan that lays out expected deliverables for projects? How do you handle changes mid-build? Well, you have to be able to roll with the punches. Just like this year, we hit COVID. A lot of my builds were already started. We start planning, guys, in January. I have companies come to me throughout the year and say, hey, Chris, we're planning on getting a build. It's going to be this big. We're looking on taking on this many projects. They reach out to us because we've had such great success. Again, guys, I don't ever fail. Like, I don't say that because I'm being cocky. I say that because I will do anything and everything to succeed every single time. And I can lean on my partners. I can lean on my team. Always, I have avenues to succeed. And at the end of the day, without those people helping me, I wouldn't be where I'm at. But when you get an opportunity to, have a curveball thrown at you, only thing you could do is keep your eye on the ball. At the end of the line, you know where the light is at the end of the tunnel. You know what it is, and you need to make sure that all of your energy is focused on succeeding and getting there. And at the end of the day, when you do that, your body's going to follow your mind. So if you have the mindset, the body's going to follow you. And I'm a strong believer in that, guys. If you see something new you like and you want it for one of your builds, it may, fluster one of your already, I get it. That's a delicate line, guys. You know what I mean? Is being able to be aware of, not ruffling feathers with partners. And at the end of the day, as long as you have a great line of communication and you want to, do that by being able and open to talk to them at any time. I don't have any issues or problems going to one of the companies I partner with and say, hey, I've been given this opportunity. I just want to give you the common courtesy to let you know that I'm going to think about dealing with that. And from there, we can communicate and determine what's best. And sometimes it works and sometimes I say no. But at the end of the day, you have to communicate. That's probably one of the most important things. Charles says, if you build with Guru, you won't be disappointed. I wouldn't have had 2 magazine builds without this dude. Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. Hearing the good feedback sometimes is awesome, guys. And I know a lot of you guys follow us on social media, Truck Gurus, our Facebook page, Instagram, whatever. Again, without you guys, I'm not where I'm at. So I appreciate the support from you guys, whether it's being a client, a partner, a team member, whatever. Every one of you are ultimately respected by me, and I appreciate every one of you. I've seen a ton of these people offering to help, build SEMA trucks. How do you approach and differ in what you're a SEMA member with a large network? So, at the end of the day, guys, there's a lot of guys out there that are popping up trying to emulate and do what some of us, like myself and Cake Media, for example, we are, in my opinion, kind of the OGs of what I call project management for the automotive industry and the truck side of things, especially pertaining to SEMA as like the big thing. There are a lot of guys popping up, and I don't have any ill will towards them. But one thing that a lot of companies, put a lot of emphasis on is, this guy's got a big social media, or this guy's doing this or doing that. But at the end of the day, I want you guys to make sure you don't put too much of a value, too much of an importance on a social media following. Sometimes it's engagement. There might be a person that gets, 7,000 likes per photo on Instagram. But ask yourself this: out of those 7,000 people, how many people are actually going to support your product? How many people could buy them? So sometimes there could be a newbie starting out and he might have 300 likes a photo. His people might be more beneficial to you than that guy that had 7,000. At the end of the day, you need to make sure that when you're partnering with people, you're doing your due diligence and research in, seeing what these people have done. If they're not approaching you the right way, if they've got, skeletons in their closet, things like that, you need to make sure that you understand these things before you go too far. So just make sure that who you're essentially getting into bed with in terms of a partnership, that, you're willing to back them every single time, 100% of the time. If not, chances are you probably need to take a step back and reevaluate the situation. And that's just my advice. So Andrew, I appreciate the question. Chris, you're going to hit me up later. I appreciate that. Glow Trim. AJ, hey man, looking forward to talking with you, man. If there's anything I can do for you, be more than happy to communicate back with you, and we can kind of go from there. Let's see here. You came into me dabbling. Yeah. Jacob, what's up, man? Jacob's one of the guys I've worked with. He was one of the cars that I dealt with throughout the years. I dealt with him he had a truck one time for SEMA, and they had a car another time. So yeah, guys, again, we are multiverse when it comes to what we can do and what we can take on. Not because we're super awesome and the best at what we do. I hope that we're really good at what we do, and I consider myself to be one of the best, but it's just being able to step out there, get out of your comfort zone, and just create a network that you don't have. And at the end of the day, sometimes you got to jump off to make sure, you know what I mean, to get the benefits. You know what I mean? Let's see here. So word of mouth is one of the best advertising. You're right, Des. You know, set a good example for people, and people are always going to, you know, talk good and high praise for you. Guru motivates and pushes you to your goal and makes sure that you're happy with your sponsors. I appreciate that, man. It's very, very high importance to me to ensure that the return on investments are made, because at the end of the day, that just ensures, again, the succession of what I do and what my partners need going forward. And if I can help with that, I'm going to do that every single time. Joe, hey, Chris, love working with you. You are top notch. Hey, I appreciate that. Wilkie, Chris, thank you. You know, hey, dude, I love partnering with you, Blake, man. It's an honor to be your friend, be considered your friend, and be able to work with you like I have in the past. I appreciate you, bud. Let's see here. Let's tell how you beat legitimate builds by bribing kids. Come on, man. We got jokes, Jake. Let's see here. He's talking about when I smoked him at a competition. We went to a road wire event, and I got first place. I had a Lightning McQueen truck. He had a really, really sweet Camaro, which I partnered with him on. But I got first place, and he got second. I mean, I brought Lightning McQueen. I wasn't going to lose that fight, Jake. I'm sorry, man. How do you get a magazine to feature your builds? Hey, Rob, that's a pretty good question, man. When magazines approach me, essentially, you know, they're looking for good content. They know what they want a lot of times, or I can just essentially offer it up to them. Again, it's just finding the right network and getting in contact with the right people and putting it in front of them. If you got to dangle your hook out there. Sometimes they take the bait, sometimes they don't. You know, we've had a lot of things shot for magazines that never made it in the magazines. And am I mad? No. But at the end of the day, if you don't take the opportunity and the risk, you're never going to reap the reward. So just go out there and make the contacts, put yourself in front of people, step out of your comfort zone, and see what happens. I promise you, it's going to be scary, but it will be beneficial to you. Let's see here. Relationships do matter for everyone trying to get in the world. Get long-term partnerships and stick with them. Chris is one of the that will stay with you for long-term. Guys, I don't quit on people. I don't quit on partners. At the end of the day, I have a really, really big problem with giving people the benefit of the doubt, even though I shouldn't sometimes. And at the end of the day, I'm a strong believer in don't judge somebody if you don't have, you know, first world knowledge of them, or get an opinion from somebody that you highly value. If you don't have those things, I mean, come on. I mean, be smart about it. Let's see here. Reach out to one of the editors. Okay, Andrew Lowe, I appreciate you helping answer that question. Let's see here. You wish you were Blake Wilkie, not the first guy in our industry. You know, Willie. Let's see here. It's not like the comments and interaction you receive. Hey guys, I appreciate everybody in here, everybody that's asking questions and being a part of this live. I appreciate you. You know, it's been pretty cool to be a part of this. Again, guys, just touch base on some things. I do have a really cool thing that I think that every single person, whether you're a business or just a person that enjoys being on social media or enjoys the industry, you know, take advantage of the new thing that I'm being a part of, guys. Socialmonkey.media. It's not ready yet. It's up, but it's not ready. So don't go signing up yet or anything. It will be live. Stay tuned for my announcements. Again, I'm helping out on the automotive side of things. I'm super excited to have been picked for the automotive segment. Looking forward to being the ambassador for everybody in our industry and marrying consumers and manufacturers together, and being able to mass market and do it accordingly. So at the end of the day, guys, if you have questions, if you have comments, if you just want to know and talk a little, reach out to me. I'm a really nice guy. I'm more than happy to help every single person in here, as well as the people that aren't. So if you have a friend that's struggling or you know needs some encouragement, tell them to come my way. At the end of the day, if you guys follow me on YouTube, there's some really cool videos on there that might help you. You know, I got one that I really am passionate about, 20 Steps to Success. It's real truth, guys. It might help you out there. It might help somebody that you know. But at the end of the day, I have some pretty cool videos up on my YouTube, you know, my social media platform. I love interacting with people. At the end of the day, if it wasn't for every single person, every single one of you guys out there, I wouldn't be where I'm at. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what it is. Gerardo says, you do have some awesome builds. I can't wait to see your next build. I'm stoked. I'm super stoked on that, man. I appreciate that so much. At the end of the day, you know, I'm honored to get to do what I do and sit in front of you people and, you know, do anything that I get to do. I'm humbled by the experiences that I've had, and I very much look forward to what the future holds. But at the end of the day, you know, my builds are just an extension of what I feel I embody as a person and as a project manager and as somebody who's in my industry. It's an extension of me and who I am and what I want to show people. I like to be different. I like to do things that are a little bit out of the norm, but I still like to stay in the realm of what's hot and what's out there. So, guys, there's a lot of products and a lot of great companies out there. A lot of them make the same products. A lot of them do really well with their marketing and their branding, and some of them are just up and coming. But at the end of the day, they're all taking chances. They're all doing what they need to do by being seen, by being heard, and being used. And at the end of the day, if you can go out there and gain these partnerships and or partner with somebody like myself and Keg Media and things like that, if you can do those things, at the end of the day, you know, your name will be out there, and you know, you should have a pretty good way being taught by a mentor firsthand how to do things the right way. And if you can do that, I promise you're going to succeed. Yeah, Joe says big things. She's one of the partners that are going to be doing the automotive liaison on stuff, guys. I'm really excited to have Joe as a partner on the automotive side for Social Monkey. Super excited. She's very knowledgeable within the automotive community. She drives a truck, so she's already really freaking cool, even though it's a 6.0. Let's see here. AJ, God bless you. I appreciate it, man. Hey, stay safe out there, guys. You know, COVID, it's a real deal. We've got the election. I don't know if you guys stay tuned with that, but just be mindful of being safe. You know, keep your eyes open. You know, be smart. And don't go out there and put yourself in a situation that's gonna get you wronged or hurt or put you in a bad light. So don't do that. You know, props to someone who actually you know, builds their vehicles. Yeah, I mean, Jacob, at the end of the day, man, I built a lot of vehicles in my driveway. You know, I didn't come from money. I didn't come from a lot of opportunities that just were gifted to me. I didn't have parents that just said, here's a brand new car and here's a bunch of money in a shop and this and that. I'm not saying everybody does, but you know, what I've been able to do with what I've had, I feel, coming from a small town, we have like 17,000 people. I did oil fields for 14 years consecutively a lot of times with what I'm doing now. And has it been hard? Yes. It's never easy. But at the end of the day, I know what I wanted to do and where I wanted to be, and I didn't let anything stop me. Sometimes putting my hands on the builds was the only option. You know, now I'm getting to a point now where I'm so busy that it's sometimes simpler for me to go to a partner and drop it off and say, this is what I need you to do, and just pay and have that done, or partner with them and have that done. It's not for everybody. Building a build sometimes isn't always you personally putting your hand on a build, guys. A lot of people are like, oh, you're not a builder, you dropped that off, or you bought it. It's a build no matter what, guys. It's what people can afford. It's what people know. It's what people do. Don't sell them short because it's not them putting their hands on it, custom fabricating and designing. At the end of the day, not everybody possesses a skill set in order to go out and do some of those things. So at the end of the day, just be mindful and just encourage everybody. If they're willing to learn, great. If they're not, don't kick them in the you know what because they're not wanting to. Sometimes they could be busy. You don't know their current situation in life. They may not have the funds to do so. But at the end of the day, it is great to sometimes learn and get your hands on things and understand the workings of things, or, you know, put yourself out there and do something and step out of your comfort zone, because I promise sometimes, again, those yield the best results and rewards is by doing those things. So, you know, Charles says, seen you grow and go big or go home, and you ain't the best in this. If you ain't the best in this industry, then people are crazy. Hey, man, it's an honor to hear the accolades that and the praise from companies who are in this live and people who have interacted with over the years to give me such high praise. I'm not saying that I deserve it, but again, guys, when I take praise on, when people are saying those things to me, it's my whole team wins. Everybody that partners with me, everybody that helps me out, again, my artists, my everybody, the magazines who continue to promote our stuff, the companies who continue to partner with us and come to us for SEMA builds and things of that. We do more than SEMA, guys. There's Lone Star Throwdown, there's Daytona, there's so many events, off-road expos, sand sports shows, dub shows, there's so many events, four-wheel parts events that are out there. If you guys need help on preparing for any of those, getting vehicles, finding those things, I'm here. I have people all over the nation, guys, that I'm fortunate enough to partner with. And it's a really, really, really great thing and tool that I've been able to build throughout 10 years is to have that vast network of people that I can rely on within the automotive industry. It's a really, really good tool. So feel free to hit me up. I'm always down to help. Congrats on the success. Keep your valuables safe. Hey, Des, a shameless plug on the Locker Down, guys. Let's see here. Do you see the truck world getting back to usable trucks and our 28s overly large suspensions and the way they're looking forward? Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't see them going anywhere because we all evolve. And that's kind of like the way that those type of trucks have evolved. They've gone upwards to these big crazy suspensions, and it's not more for use on some of those ones or these big wheels, but it's what they like. And at the end of the day, a person building or a company building is doing it for them, not for other people, or it should be for them and not for other people. I know when I do stuff, I don't do it for other people. I do it for me. I personally keep the smaller wheels and the bigger tires. I don't do Skyjacker lifts, but at the end of the day, not Skyjacker. Skyjacker's a great company out there, but I don't do these skyscraper lifts on my personal builds because it's not my personal agenda. But I mean, to each their own. I think that if you're out there and you're wanting to build and you're seeing the market do those things, don't think for one reason that you have to go out there and do that to still do a build or do you. You don't need to go do what these other people are doing because they're doing it for them. You need to do for you. And if that doesn't fit that size wheels or that size lift or those bumpers or whatever, don't do it. Do what you like and do what's for you. And at the end of the day, that's all that should matter. So talk to you about Guru Garage. All right. Shout out to my boy Caesar, RK Sport, a great partner of mine throughout the years. I appreciate you guys and the support. So Guru Garage is something that I'm starting with some partners of mine on a private production. It's going to be a really, really cool thing, I think, for a lot of partners of mine, as well as ones that are looking to be partners. We're going to focus in on builds, product reviews, and things of that nature, how-tos, do-it-yourselves, a bunch of different things that I feel like there's a lot of voids in our industry, and I feel like collectively over the years I've compiled that data, that information, and I want to give back in my way, doing it my way. So I talked about not doing what other people are doing. I mean, I'm still going to project manage. I'm still going to do social media stuff. I'm still going to do everything that I do, but this is just another form of me stepping out and taking more on my shoulders and putting more on my plate to do things to give back to our industry. Everything that I do has a place in the future. And I want to look to that to make sure that, again, the future holds what I want it to hold. The companies, I want them to stick around. I want them to be there. I want them to be successful. I don't want a company to go under and go away and them not be there. That does nothing for me, does nothing for them, and it does nothing for anybody out there looking for that. So at the end of the day, if I'm doing things like this, hopefully I can bring awareness to product that people don't know about. I can bring awareness to businesses that people don't know are a brand. I can do so many different things that I feel are not as done well out there. So I'm not saying I'm going to hit a home run, which I hope I do. I'm going to try everything I can to do it. But Guru's Garage is one of the things that I'm starting in hopes to make a better place amongst our industry and our peers and everything that we do. You know what I mean? So let's see here. Jacob Merrill, throw some 28s on the Camaro. Hey, man, that'd be pretty crazy. I don't know how that would look, but that'd be pretty crazy. Is Kirkland Signature sponsoring your water? Hey, shout out to Sam's Club. You know what I mean? Sam's Club, buy stuff in bulk. I got the sweet tea in this one with the Guru Cup. Gotta do what I do. Got the water and the tea, man. Gotta get the good balance. Not hydrated, it's probably not a good thing. You guys, do you have any more questions? We still got a lot of people in this live. There's still questions that I can answer. Okay, so here's another one. How do companies benefit from working with a partner like Truck Guru or Guru's Garage versus doing it themselves and hiring in-house media? One thing I've learned, sorry Jake, my bad with the Costco, Sam's Club, I have a membership to both. So how do they benefit by working with companies like us rather than doing it themselves? One thing I've learned is companies can't always take on that much of a role by themselves. I'm emphasizing the fact that they need guys like myself and businesses like mine to assist in that. The content creation, a lot of times, you know, getting it from somebody else is a fresh new breath of air, a new perspective on things that they may not have even looked at. It's a whole nother avenue. It's a whole nother addition to what they're doing. So by using outside companies sometimes, it's also beneficial. Not saying that they can't use their in-house parties, but sometimes that's not the most beneficial, because I've worked with a lot of companies, guys, and I'm going to stress this. When I worked with them, when I started with them, they weren't hip. They weren't up to date on the newest and latest, greatest. They weren't in the trenches. I live in the trenches, guys. I'm not saying I'm the best, but one thing I do know is I keep my ears and eyes open to ensure that I know what the heartbeat and lifeline and lifeblood of our industry is and the directions that everything's going. So I help in that way, bringing my perspective and my professional, you know, everything to them in hopes that it helps them, you know, take a whole nother role or get a little bit more success in an area that they weren't planning on going there directly or anytime soon. So again, having a whole third-party perspective sometimes makes all of the difference to a brand. But again, make sure you know who you're working with. Make sure that you vetted them. If you're not vetting them as a company, you're failing. If you're not making sure that the people that you're partnering with are people that are going to do right by you, I'm not saying don't take risks on new people, because sometimes in my world, the new people are the hungriest. And I was hungry, so I know that. That's why when I look at people, I have a really good balance of keeping those professionals and making sure that those people that are, you know, have shops and things like that are a big portion of what my project management does. But I also take on a select number of new guys, because I know that those guys are hungry, and if not sometimes more hungry than the guys that have been around for a while. So yeah, that was a killer question, man. Thanks for asking that, Caesar. What's my favorite color? You know, black like my soul. I don't know, man. I like all the colors, dude. At the end of the day, I'm not, you know, blinded by any particular color. But when it comes to a vehicle, you know, I've had white, I've had black, I've had red, I've had a number of colors on vehicles. Black and white typically are a good base of color on a vehicle. So when you're doing a vehicle and you're not necessarily planning for future mods, you know, you can go out and get these wild colors. But if you're looking to modify and do things in the future, like wraps and things of that nature, you might want to look to black and white, just because, you know, it could save you some money on wrapping door jambs, for example, which, you know, if you don't do, sometimes looks tacky and unfinished. So, you know, be mindful of that. I know I turned that into an automotive question, but, you know, here I am being an automotive guy. Let's see here. What type of metrics and data are still important now? You know, analytics are super important, guys. Again, like I said before a few minutes earlier, you shouldn't always emphasize on a follower base being large. Sometimes that's not always the best way to go about it, because again, like I said, some of their following, they could be a bunch of people that are never going to support you, that are never going to follow you, that are never going to buy your products. And at the end of the day, you want to ensure that, you know, if you're investing anything, product is money, right? If you're investing, you want a return on investment. So you want to ensure that you're protecting what you're doing. Products are money. So you want to protect your money. And at the end of the day, the only way you can protect that is by doing your due diligence and research and knowing who you're getting into bed with, essentially. And when you're partnering with a company, a brand, a product, anything, you want to ensure that they instill the same values and they have great communication and that they're the right fit for where you're going. And if they're not, chances are you probably shouldn't dive that far that fast with them. If they're uncertain or unknown, you know, dip your toe in the water sometimes, or don't even take the risk. Ask friends. You know, sometimes, you know, you need professional opinions, and others in your industry, a lot of times they offer that knowledge, and it could help you save you a lot of money. And at the end of the day, we're all about saving money. Just do your due diligence and make sure that you're doing your research and you're understanding those things before you go and you do something with somebody and you take a risk on that type of thing. Let's see here. My son Jason asked, what can I do in a few years before driving age to get ahead or ready for the builder's world? That's a great question, Jason and Jacob. You guys, what I want to tell people is I want to set up a better and instill a better community for the people who are gonna be the next wave of people. And things that you can do is get a mentor now. Ask questions. Look at those things. Look at some of these guys as an influence and a mentor and a role model, and see what they're doing and how they're doing it. You can start now. Even though you're young does not mean, even though you can't drive does not mean that you can't go out there and learn now to set yourself up for the future. So what you want to do, Jason, is you want to make sure that, you choose a good mentor, you have your eyes open, and you pretty much make sure that you're using your head and you're looking for yourself and creating your own opinions on a bunch of different things. Don't follow what other people are doing. And again, guys, a lot of people make fun of careers like mechanics and plumbers and things like that, but those are the backbone of everything. A mechanic is no less value than a guy that fabricated a lift or installed a lift or designed a lift. It takes a collective effort. So no matter what role you have in any part of a build, it's important. From designing it to building it, fabricating parts, selling parts, installing parts, every single person has a valuable role. So pick one that you like, you know what I mean? Go down that path and you will have an important role going forward, whether it's your builds or other people's builds, it will be important. So just figure out what you like, what you're good at, and go from there. It says start a YouTube, guys. I am on YouTube. I have a Guru Garage YouTube that I'm going to start going live on reviews with, as well as episodes. And then I also have the Truck Gurus YouTube page. You guys can go check that out. So I do have some knowledge on there. And then again, I'm always open to communicate and talk with anybody at any time. What does your son think you do for a living? That I build cool trucks. I mean, he tells I have a 6-year-old son. The dude is a stud. Athletic little turd. He loves what I do. He loves the crazy trucks that he helps me name every truck. Sometimes, he helps me pick the theme, like the Lightning McQueen one. He said, Dad, build a lightning truck. I built a lightning truck. He loved it. He loved it with his class, his friends. Absolutely, was head over heels about it. My son, he just loves what I do. He likes going to truck shows. He says, Dad, why aren't we going to truck shows? He doesn't understand the whole COVID thing and why we have to stay home and why we can't go out and do these things. But, I'm pretty sure he's jonesing to get back out there and see some cool cars, some cool trucks, interact with people, go on stage, sometimes get these awards that we're humbly, able to get and fortunate enough to get, but it's awesome to be able to instill things like that in a younger generation and hope that they aspire to be something along the rounds of what I do. Or if any of these young kids look up to me, I'm going to do everything in my God-given power to instill good beliefs and good systems into them. If anybody that knows me knows I'm not into drama. I'm not into foul play. I'm not into any of that stuff. I'm not malicious. I'm not going to go out there. If company have done me wrong, if a person has done me wrong, chances are you've never heard of it, because I'm not going to go out there and I'm not going to tell you about it. That's my business. It's between me and them. I feel like a lot of people out there, they need to understand that. When you're griping and complaining about somebody, when somebody's done you wrong, keep it to yourself, move along, write it down, take a mental note, and just move along with it. There's a lot of lessons to be learned from it. If you don't learn the lesson from it, you failed. The only time that you don't fail is if you actually truly learned a lesson and you don't repeat yourself. Then it's not a lesson. Then it's not a failure, it's a lesson. So, make a failure a lesson by understanding and moving on. Let's see here. Leave every day in a cape, Superman. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm better than anybody or anything of that nature. I'm fortunate enough to be able to get the opportunity and gracious enough to understand that being able to do what I do, and not only what I do, but successfully for over 10 years now, and be able to have the partnerships and everything like that I get to do with all of these great companies and businesses, like a lot of the ones that are showing at SEMA. They debut at SEMA. They show products, accessories. They trust us to bring them turnkey finished products. Shout out to you guys. Pumped and excited to work with every one of you. If you guys are going forward, you're planning this next year, and you want me to be a part of those plans, great. Reach out to us. Let's get the conversation going. Let's get everything set up, and let's make success in 2021. 2020 has been a real crap show for all of us. Definitely not the best year for anybody. Yeah, there's been moments that's been great, but overall, sitting at home, not being able to go out and eat, not being able to go out to the mall or to the store, it really gets to a person. But if you guys are depressed, even seek help. You know what I mean? Talk to somebody. Suicide's a real thing. A lot of people out there. I don't want anybody to get hurt, anybody feel down. If you're bored, if you feel like you need to talk to somebody, I'm always here. I don't care. My line is always open. I'll give you my cell phone number. Feel free to reach out. I'm always here to help. Let's talk education. What trades make school valuable versus getting an entry-level job somewhere? So I'm a firm believer in doing is learning. Sometimes it takes an education to learn things, or sometimes it takes just rolling up your sleeves and getting your hands dirty. Going out there and actually physically getting involved is the first step, and probably the most, whether that's involved in signing up for a course or a class, whether that's finding a mentor and saying, hey man, can I shadow you? Can I watch you? Can you teach me? Can I learn from you? Oftentimes those are probably some of the most important things that I think are the most valuable with the whole school and everything else, is finding out those things. What do you do when you hit the creative block? I take inspiration from everything. When I log into social media, when I see a product or a company or a business, or when I talk to somebody, my wheels are always turning. Don't limit yourself to think that you can't be better or greater or more than what you are, because once you do that, your body's going to instinctively follow that. So, mind over body, firm believer, like I said in that. You want to make sure that you're telling yourself that you can go out and do more, and you will. Like you're always, if your wheels are turning, you're always going to be bringing new light, shedding new light to things, seeing better ways, more efficient ways of doing things. At the end of the day, you don't want to limit yourself to anything. You can be your best friend, or you can be your worst enemy. You get to wake up every day and you get to choose which of those that you want to be. And at the end of the day, nobody can tell you how to do you and what to be and who to be and how to be that person. You get to choose that, and you get to have that opportunity every single day. So again, that's on you. So guys, I mean, we're getting far deep in this thing. I mean, I'm glad I'm still having lots of questions. Before we wrap this thing up, are there any further questions anybody else wants to ask? Fire off. Let's do rapid fire here. Time management. Do you stick to a daily schedule or wing it every day? You know what, man? At the end of the day, you have to take personal time for you sometimes. So sometimes you got to cut out. You got to do something you enjoy, whether it's going to a movie, going to a lake, spending time with your friends, barbecuing, whatever, watching a football game. You always have to make sure that you have you time, so you don't get burnt out. But when it comes to time management, you want to ensure that you're meeting your deadlines and you're hitting your deliverable things always. And at the end of the day, if you can do those things, you're good. So just be mindful of everything. Like, I don't miss deadlines. There's just no exception for that. You know the deadline, and if it's within your ability, just set yourself up for success, not failure. Let's see here. Do you feel like you're a shark, and if you stop swimming, you'll die? AJ, somewhat I do. You know what I mean? Because in my personal opinion, what I do in the project management segment, I feel is starting to get a little bit saturated. It's getting murky waters. I feel like, for a lot of years, Keg Media and myself have been the OGs and the guys that are out there just going out and bringing life to this industry. There's a lot of new companies popping up here and there. Am I mad? No. All I can do is continue focusing on what I do and not worrying about what they're doing. So, I mean, it does suck, you know what I mean, to see so many people, and then sometimes to see my partners, using them too. But at the end of the day, I understand. It's better to have more everywhere than a little bit somewhere, or a lot of it somewhere. I want everybody to succeed. It doesn't change how I go and how I swim in this analogy. I'm going to keep swimming. I'm going to keep looking forward. At the end of the day, the first place person doesn't look back. The second place person looks forward always, right? So if the first person's always worrying about what the guy behind him's doing, chances are he's got trouble. He's worrying about looking back, and the guy that's in second place is only looking forward. You want to be the guy that's always looking forward. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Yeah, it sucks. Nothing I can do about it. I can't tell these guys to stop. I can't change the way they do business. At the end of the day, I can continue to do me and continue to elevate what I do and offer more services or be better. That's it. You know, shout out to Robbie, respect to Keg. I mean, I respect him too, and he's competition, guys. At the end of the day, I respect competition. You know what I mean? And it's not that it's in competition. It's just that, you know, Robbie and I have, you know, stayed out of each other's way and stayed out of each other's lanes for well over 10 years now, guys. And we've been able to coexist without any problems. And at the end of the day, you know, hats off to Robbie for doing that. I don't have any problems or issues with him. You know, much success to him going forward. Hopefully I continue with my success. If that's the way it's going to be, that's the way it's going to be. I can't stop him from doing him. Do you have any tips for smaller brands and products to get attention in front of larger brands that have the spotlight? As a manager, I'm sure you've dealt with the same kind of builds and competing. Yeah, I mean, don't look at anything as competition. That's one thing that I feel like is a negative thing. Is, like I said, you're going to worry about the people that are behind you, and you know that doesn't help you go forward. Getting out in front of people, you just need to do the right things. You know what I mean? Focus on your social media. Focus on shows and events. Focus on giving the return on investment that is supposed to be had anytime you do these things. As a business, I feel like being in front of consumers at events is huge for a business. It's brand recognition. It's building your brand and branding your builds. And a lot of guys are firm believers in that, guys. I mean, the saying's been around for decades. And it's a good saying because at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? I mean, listen to it, take it for what it is, and that's it. Let's see here. What else you guys got? Any other questions, everybody? I appreciate you guys following the pages. If you're not already following, I appreciate you guys following me, reaching out. Is there any other questions out there, guys? I know we've been talking for a while. I'm sure you guys are a little bit bored of seeing my face. But hey, Kyle, I appreciate it, man. If you ever have any problems or questions, hit me up, man. I'm always here to help. If you guys need anything, let's see here. I replace competition with contribution. It's all about perspective, much like Coke and Pepsi. You know what I mean? Like Coke's not going anywhere, Pepsi's not going anywhere. At the end of the day, you know, they know that they're both sodas and people are going to drink them, and they stay in their lanes and they do what they do. And I mean, cell phone brands and food brands and industry brands for automotive industry. I mean, we can all coexist. There's a spot for everybody. You have to find your niche. You have to find your partners. You have to find your people. You have to communicate. You have to grow your network. You have to, just be present and, take notes, learn from your failures, and the rest will come. You know what I mean? So, yeah, no problem, AJ. I appreciate you coming on here and asking questions, man. Let's see here. Anything else, guys? I don't want to get out of here before everybody's had the opportunity to communicate or ask a question. So, feel free. Let's see here. Unless they reside in the 90s. Hey, man. I don't know about all that. I was a baby in the 90s. Let's see here. What else we got? Anything else, guys? Don't want to close this out if anybody else has any questions. I know it's been close to an hour now, but if you guys have any more knowledge you want, feel free. Reach out to me personally. Chris Payne, Truck Gurus, Truck_Guru, Guru Garage, anything, guys. There's a lot of ways to communicate with me. Again, all it takes is to reach out and we can kind of go from there. I'm happy to help each and every one of you. I look forward to seeing every one of you around. 2020 has been, somewhat of an issue for everybody, this year. But at the end of the day, all we can do is get better, not look back at what we're doing, look forward, move forward, be a better person, be a better people, company, business, brand, and everything else will follow. Thanks, Caesar. I appreciate you. Says, I look forward to continuing to see your success and celebrate with you. Hey, when I win, everybody wins. And I appreciate every single one of you guys. I look forward to every single person out there. You know what I mean? If I win, you win. If you're on my team, if you're one of my clients, my partners, my team members, my rendering guy, my graphic guy, my website guy, every single, if I succeed, if I get an award, you get an award too. So if I get a pat on the back, I want you to have a pat on the back too. And make sure that you guys understand that whenever you're doing these things with these people is, rarely ever does one person ever deserve the praise for an action all on their own entirely. At the end of the day, it's a collective group effort. Get the right people involved, get the right network, grow your network, grow your brand, grow yourself, and be better. So yeah, guys, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close this out, man. I appreciate every single person that came in here today. I look forward to maybe doing this again sometime. Any questions, reach out to me, guys. I love and respect and appreciate every single person. And again, I look forward to hearing from anybody and anyone, any company, any person, for any reason at all, whether it's to mentor, to help, to grow, to succeed, to take you on as a client, or just, you know, become a friend, strike up a relationship and partner, whatever. I'm down for whatever. I appreciate everybody in here. Look forward to communicating more with every one of you guys. And I appreciate it, guys. It's been nearly an hour, and we're going to cut this thing off. But